Welcome, Brickmaniacs, to another Designer Studio episode of Brickmania TV.
Hello.
I think we got that right. I was waiting for that. You forgot something.
I'm like, and it's your line, Slam.
No, it's not.
It is.
You know.
Hello.
So Slam and I are here in the design studio to talk about the C-23B plus Sherpa. This is our second Sherpa kit, so I'm pretty excited to talk about it. So this C-23, it's a short aircraft company from Northern Ireland, makes these incredibly rugged aircraft, and they were used by the U.S. military for about 25, 30 years, actually, as a small cargo plane that could operate out of rough landing, primitive landing strip, real short takeoff and landing kind of thing. It's mocked universally as a flying Winnebago, but the people who operated, the people who flew in it, the people that knew this airplane all loved it. So we've been inspired. This is our second Sherpa model, the first being the smoke jumpers, the U.S. Forest Service version. This is the newest version, which would be the U.S. Army version of the Sherpa. So this being the second Sherpa we've done, it did go through a huge amount of rebuilding. There were certain characteristics, particularly this red stripe that is on the side of the aircraft. It's on every Sherpa in the Army inventory, and it is known as the aircraft with a red stripe on the side. So the red stripe means do not walk past this red stripe, or you'll be walking into the propeller. It's just a reminder so that if you were a user, you do not walk out that door and turn right if you're walking out the side here, or the other side and turn left. You just do not want to walk into that propeller. That would make your day very bad.
Most prop aircraft have a propeller warning stripe on them,
yes.
And I'm always wanting to print them, and I believe this is the first time I've been able to put the word propeller down the side of an airplane.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, you actually crossed a ton of bricks. This looks like a simple plane, but this print job is definitely not a simple print job.
No, we had to, in order to print these hatches on the sides of the fuselage, we had to. I mean, there's a hinge that goes down the middle of it. We didn't print on the hinge, so like we built like 80% of the door and ran that through the printer, and those 10 bricks come in a bag, and you'll have to assemble the windows back into them, the hinges back into them, but at least they're assembled with all the dashes connected. So
that's amazing. I mean, the results are amazing, and if you're not quite following what we're talking about, is that we're printing these assemblies, multiple parts are put together and then printed as a single print in order to make sure all the pieces line up, and then we either disassemble or we'll send them. Sometimes they're included in the kit as a assembled unit just because it's easier for you to keep it all together.
Yep. Take a part off, put it onto your model, take a part off.
And you don't accidentally mix the left and the right, and then it's all, the lines don't necessarily match. We want to make sure you have a complete, a really nice, sharp-looking finished product, and the printing has to be perfect.
When the part in question is a 1x1 with a single gray hash on it, let's help you get that to the right location.
Maybe what we should do is stop this thing and show off this nose. I mean, you can see even the roof of the fuselage here, how the printing. I don't know if you can catch all that with the light. It's printed across multiple pieces and on a curve. It's pretty insane. So you've got printing going this way, printing up the sides, the fuel caps on the roof, and I should point out that this is really cool. Oops.
Everybody's fine.
They didn't go through the propeller. Look at the printing on the back door. That is a masterpiece, and it really is on at least one Sherpa that we were able to identify. So don't get too close. Oh, did I stick him in the propeller again?
Oh no!
I got to mind that line. Oh, I know. I missed the landing strip altogether.
It's rugged.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a rugged aircraft. People who saw the previous Sherpa know that the roof comes off, so you can access the interior. Is pretty darn easy.
One solid roof chunk.
Yeah. So this thing is designed for carrying cargo. Well, let's see if I can get it off without tearing the plane apart. There we go. It's designed for carrying cargo, and you have this cool cargo ramp in the back. The Sherpa B, the B model, can actually open that ramp in flight, whereas the A was not able to do that. So,
it's a huge change.
When the military acquired these, I think they needed a cargo aircraft that could bring supplies to remote airstrips, things like that. And it was just big enough that they could shove an F-16 engine in there. So let's say they had an F-16 stranded somewhere and they needed to get an a rebuilt engine delivered. The Sherpa would be great because great fuel economy, it has super long distance. It's basically just a truck, a flying truck. Super rugged. One other thing that was liked about it is it could fly low, low to the ground. Hardly, by comparison to a jet or something, this thing was like, didn't make a whole lot of noise. Far more longer range than a helicopter could ever be, and faster than a helicopter. So they use this for insertion of special forces a lot too. So you'll have a lot of these stories of operators and special ops units using these things in Iraq and in country, where they would be delivering parachutists inserting parachutes into special forces guys into otherwise inaccessible zones behind enemy lines. So the original kit came with the option of buying additional paratroopers. And we are considering not only making another batch of the kit, but also making more paratroopers because they weren't available. Just a few leftovers from the first batch were available for purchase. Otherwise, they've only been available with this kit.
I think people would love that.
Yeah.
These figures are, I don't believe we've done a lot of the UCP
No, I think this is
camouflage before.
I think this is the first full UCP figure we've done. So UCP being that everybody's favorite, like sort of sage green,
seafoam and tan camouflage, digital camo.
Yes, it is the most aggressive looking camouflage I think the Army has produced to this day. So
It's absolutely terrifying.
and I think there was like a lot of like really disappointed people out there when it was phased out. My understanding.
Absolutely.
I could hear the wailing all the way from my office. Yeah.
Boy, yeah. So not a camouflage that was used for very long, but during the Iraq, most recent Iraq conflict, we saw a lot of this in video clips and photography. So this is where
people
we've gone.
that we know actually had to wear it. We've got the privilege.
The privilege to wear it. Yep.
Of serving in that uniform.
And this was also used as a airborne training aircraft, correct?
Right. The National Guard units that flew these things would actually use them to bring troops up on trainings that wouldn't require like a C-17 or a C-130 or something. So they could do smaller unit paratrooper training. So you'll see a lot of pictures of I believe the Alaska National Guard using these things for trainings, but not just them. They were in there all over the place, and they were doing. I guess they worked up a special ops, Army special ops, sort of a backup division our backup team for the 160th SOAR, and they actually use these as well. So they brought in Hueys, they use these stuff that the SOAR, the 160th SOAR doesn't use. That's the
Sure. Just one more tool in the tool belt.
Right. So,
Getting guys where they need to go.
yep. So like the Night Stalker backup team.
Sure.
And they had Sherpas, they did UH-1 Hueys, and of course they Black Hawks and all the other good things. But they stood that unit down a few years ago, and then these things ended up getting given to other U.S. government divisions. So a lot of these former military planes, I think almost all of them actually ended up being part of the U.S. Forest Service. So now they're using them for hauling smoke jumpers around.
Still a useful plane.
Yeah. Yeah, durable beyond belief. Super useful. Fortunately, they're retired. They're no longer building them, and I guess we're the only ones building them right now.
That's okay.
Yep.
You built in a pretty cool feature back here where you can both elevate and.
Yeah, we had
So
the
without
knots.
interfering?
Thanks to our friend Shane, he gave us a lot of pointers of things. So helped us with a lot of things, a lot of details. We have the missile warning, the chaff dispensers, lots of things that these special operations guys were using. The guys that were flying them through combat zones, they did a lot of field customizations to make them a little bit more combat worthy, should they get into trouble. I don't know too many stories because I think those are the kind of stories you don't necessarily get to hear from operators that use them.
Cool. And one of the things that Shane mentioned was that he was pretty sure there was a shark mouth version of this plane.
Right.
We never got to see photographic evidence that says this is what the shark mouth plane looks
Right.
like. So
So we made up our own.
we're just going on rumors that potentially there was a shark mouth, and I won't pass up an opportunity to make a shark mouth.
Right,
if I
it
can
looks
get away
great.
with
It looks fantastic. I almost forgot about the shark mouth. And also, if you had the previous one, there was a brick-built propeller that we used on that one. And I thought that propeller, you know, while it's kind of cool that we made it all out of Lego pieces, I thought it would be more appropriate to use a more realistic propeller. So, camera guy, I believe, was the person behind the propeller. And not only is it a brand new propeller, but we did some brand new texturing techniques on the propeller. So it gives it a more traditional Lego-like feel. It's kind of wild.
It has a similar bump texture to a traditional 45 slope. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice little propeller.
Yeah.
And it is really, that is not a big propeller.
No.
Like, considering this thing can haul cargo.
It's
and-
turboprop, but it's all it needs. A couple of those and these gigantic wings. I should say they have working flaps and elevators, ailerons. Yeah, all around functional model. Just kind of a lot of cool little features on. And unfortunately, right now at this moment, if you didn't get on the pre-order, you're going to have a hard time getting one unless you can get yourself to one of the Brickmania retail locations. If you are interested in purchasing one of these down the road, and it's not retired officially yet, but we do not have it on the schedule. If there's interest, we'll
bring it back for another go.
Yep.
So reach out and let us know. And to your right, you have the stand.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about the stand.
The traditional Brickmania aircraft stand.
So we did make this thing stand compatible. I believe the original one had an older version of the stand. So this is the aircraft stand. When you buy the kit, you get this piece, which actually is the little name placard, and you also get a universal stand adapter. This is something I just built so that aircraft that use the old style stand will actually be able to interface with the new style stand. So it comes with it. I'm going to demonstrate how to put this thing on. You just pop this bad boy right on the bottom of the aircraft in the 4 holes that the previous stand worked with. And then, voila, you have a conversion so that it is compatible with the new stand. You could even attach the nameplate right to the stand. So the stand is not included.
It's something that we sell separately, and we should have them in stock almost all the time, correct?
Right. They are just coming into the stores now, getting up. I mean, I think they've been online available with some of the pre-orders, but I believe you should be able to just buy this thing. If you wanted to get a stand for your, you bought the Sherpa, the stand wasn't available then, now's your chance to get it. They will be available in our stores and then online as well. But just wanted to show that like every aircraft that we're doing at this point moving forward will be compatible with the new stand. This was an easy way to make the older style connection work with the new stand.
Just a little plumbing adapter, and you're good.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. It's a great looking model, especially elevated and jumping up.
Right, and then if you have this on your desk, suddenly your desk has lots more useful shape.
Room for tanks and vehicles
Right.
and other helicopters.
Right.
Yes.
This does sit great on its 4 wheels. I did actually design more heavy-duty landing gear on this version of the Sherpa for the last one. So it is designed to be a little bit more rugged. If you wanted to roll it around and taxi it around on your desktop, you probably won't collapse the landing gear or lose a wheel or something like that.
Having rebuilt most of it to get the printed parts on it, I can attest to the fact that that's a really rugged landing gear system, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that actually has locks to keep the wheels from folding up on you.
That's great.
All right, lots of fun building it.
Yep.
Yeah, I could sit and talk about it and bore your ears off. I'm sure there's nobody watching this video at this point anyway.
Oh, look at the time. We should probably wrap this up.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to Brickmania TV. We'll see you next time.
All right.